Hello my lovelies, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you do hear like a little bell jingling, that's my little man walking around trying to get acquainted with where he is right now in mommy's filming room. But welcome to my channel. For those of you who have already seen my videos, thank you for watching. Those of you who are new, go check out some of my previous videos. But in this video, I will be filming this eye look. Listen, I haven't done eyeshadow in so long, so I just kind of flipped through Pinterest and was like, you know what, I'm gonna make kind of like my own little kind of thing from what I saw. But this is like a nice kind of like sunset and sea inspired look that I decided just to go on and create and film and show all of you. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this look, then please keep on watching, but also please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also hit that notification bell to be notified when I do post, which is every Thursday and Sunday. But without further ado, let's get into the video. I thought I was filming when I was doing this eye, and then I looked at my monitor and I was not filming at all. So I'm going to show you guys this eye, how I did this. You know, I got kind of pretty far, and then yeah, I realized I wasn't filming. So I'm taking my Louise eye base. Anything ever wants to focus for me. This is in Rumour 03 and my Morphe M224 brush to put the Louise all over my eye. I just like to put it on the back of my hand and just kind of put it all over my eye and bring it up to blend in with my underbrow concealer, because I use my LA Girl Pro Conceal under my brow, so I just kind of use it to blend in. They're very similar colors. And I also did do my eyebrows completely different than I normally do. I did kind of like the soap brow method a little bit, but I didn't use soap. I used Got to Be Glue. My kind of style is like switching up a little bit, and I feel like my brows were just like a little bit too dark for my look, so I wanted to do something a little bit lighter, and so I did up my technique. I did let me, and I'll continue to do it. I don't know. I like to play around how I do my brows, how I your makeup kind of changes. And I'll possibly make a video on it and continue to do my brows like that. But now I'm just taking a fluffy brush and blending everything into my eye so the base is nice and seamless, and I'm just blending it out like on the outer parts of my eyes. Before I did put this base on, I used my Milk cooling water to put over my eye and under my eye, just to kind of tone down the puffiness and the redness, because my eyes be real puffy. So, and that's just like a nice set base. For this entire look, I'm using one palette only. You know, if it wasn't upside down, the Morphe X James Charles palette. I love this palette because it is super versatile. It has pretty much every single color in it, large and small pans. And the colors are like A1. I know I'm kind of late on the James Charles palette, but I mean, better late than never. But you know, like I always say, put me on to some new stuff, put me on to some new palettes, some new makeup in general. I like to try different stuff and challenge myself. So to start off, I'm going in with these two burgundy-ish colors, almost pretty much like the same color, and just this dense. I'm using pretty much dense blending brushes the whole time, and I'm just getting it into my crease, bringing it kind of down my nose, kind of where I do my nose contour a bit, and just going to use this to sculpt out the crease area. And I've learned not to tap off any of the excess shadow, so the shadow is as vibrant and pigmented as possible. Then I'm kind of like hooking it under my brow on the end. And I'm just going to keep like, you start off with a little and, you know, pack in as much as you want as you keep on going. Like such. And just kind of blending it out because as you see, it is going to extend. Next, I'm going in with a red brush. Well, a brush, sorry, not a red brush. It is red because I already used it, and I'm using this red. I'm going to dab the brush in the pan once. Then I'm taking my Maybeline Make It Last setting spray, and I'm just going to spray the brush once or twice and shake it up a bit. And this is what kind of gives even more vibrancy, even more pigment, because we are using such bright colors throughout the entire eye. I just want to make sure that the color is as like seen, you know, as possible. And then I just kind of dab it back into the pan to put above the burgundy. You don't want to saturate the brush with too much setting powder, because then when you dip the brush back into the pan, it will destroy the eyeshadow pan. So just be very cautious. Shake the brush as much as possible to kind of like dry it out, because we don't want to be messing up our expensive palettes. So yeah. And yeah, as you can see, like it adds on way more like red vibrancy, kind of taking over the burgundy a bit. But that's the pigment that we want. And then I'm going to go back in with the burgundy just a little bit. Just going to bring it back into the eye. I'm really just going in like a dabbing motion the whole time. There we go. Now going in with my orange. Using this orange. Everything I love in this palette is kind of like true to color. Like the orange is like an orange, not like too light of an orange, not too dark of an orange. Like everything is kind of like the perfect true to color. So I would recommend this palette. Definitely a good investment. Has plenty of colors, mattes and shimmers, so you can do like so many looks and stuff with it. And I'm trying to get back into my like color eyeshadow bag, so this palette's kind of like helping me out a bit. But then we're just going to go in with the orange to blend out the red. Doing a little bit at a time. Dabbing it in. And because I have small eyes, it's going to, like, as you see, go completely up to my brow. Because I don't have crazy amount of lid space. So I kind of got to create my own lid space. So if you do have larger lids, I am very jealous and envious, because you have more space to do more shadow, more eye looks. I kind of have to make my eyelids look bigger as much as possible by doing some big dramatic stuff. I'm just going kind of back and forth, blending everything kind of into each other so I don't lose like the colors. And there's a good thing with makeup, that's why you start with like a little bit and kind of like build up with like the eyeshadow and like everything else, so you can go back and kind of get the blend that you want, or like the harshness that you want, or the color, vibrancy, all of that. So, and everything's kind of like buildable, which is nice. And kind of going back in with the orange, and I kind of want to bring everything down a little bit more, because then I'll just wipe it off. if need be. Whole thing is going down and out. That's literally, this whole thing is going down and out. And if you hear like little chains or like bells, sorry, not chains, like little bells in the background, that's my puppy in the background. He's getting up from his morning nap. So if you do hear bells, or yeah, that's him. And I'm just going in with the yellow, doing the same thing, giving it a little bit of spritz, shaking it off. I feel like yellows and whites for me are like the hardest colors. I feel like no matter what palette, to get like the most vibrancy from it and the most pigment from it. And I'm using this yellow kind of as like a brow highlight. But yeah, I always try to like find ways to get the most color out of the yellows and whites. They don't like showing up for me sometimes. And I'm just kind of gonna like blend it, carve it out, curve it out, like that a bit. But that's why you want to have like a good base, good eye base. I do recommend the P. Louise. Finding it, you're definitely gonna have to find it online, or if you live in like Vegas, I got mine in Vegas at a Morphe store in Vegas, so that kind of lucked out. I'm kind of gonna use it to put at like the bottom of my brow to kind of blend out this like tail end here just a little bit. And yeah, we're gonna look a little nuts. We're gonna look probably a little nuts throughout a good portion of this. But I'm just taking a Q-tip, a regular old Q-tip, and then this is just like off-brand micellar water. And I'm gonna kind of douse the Q-tip in the micellar water, and I'm going to use this to carve out our cut crease. And I have found that doing this technique makes life 10 times easier than using a makeup wipe or just using straight concealer to kind of just start carving out the cut crease. When you clean it up first with micellar water, first it gets rid of like everything, like the whole base, the whole like everything, so you're left with more of like a blank canvas. So then we can go in, add more like concealer or base, and it's just like a lot more crisp. I feel like when you do it like this, might go through a couple of Q-tips, but definitely just makes it a lot easier. So this is the part I'm just trying to carve out my eye and round it out as much as possible. Yeah, it kind of almost goes like to my hairline a little bit, which is okay. No, I just don't want it in my hair. I feel like the hardest part for me is making everything, my cut creases, symmetrical. And because I'm a righty, it's easier for me to do this eye than it is for this eye. So I just always want to like double check and make sure they're both as rounded out as much as possible. Okay. They look as symmetrical as possible. This one, I think, just extends out a little bit more. Oh, they both extend out. Okay. So now I'm taking my Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. Yes, a pretty kind of older concealer. But I'm going to go in and use this concealer. Don't mind my nails. They look hideous. I already know. I'm going to go in and use this concealer, not the P. Louise. They're very similar, like, shades, so it's okay. But I feel like this concealer is a little bit more thicker than the P. Louise eye base, so it kind of stands out more. It does what I need it to do. And this is the shade Medium. And there the bells go. I went to go put him in his little playpen, but I'm just gonna finish carving out the eye. Just going to extend it out. I think this one comes up higher. Sometimes I gotta like lift up. And carve that out. I think this side comes up a little bit higher than this side, so I just had to like go in and fix it up, and then I'm just gonna drag it down. And you can honestly use like whatever eye base or concealer. I'm just gonna put it directly on my eye. Eye base or concealer like works best for you. I feel like everything works best differently for everyone. I'm just gonna bring it underneath too, you know, just for the heck of it, and just kind of dab it out and blend it out. And this kind of gives a nice smooth finish. I'm going in with the same blending brush. No, this is not the same. Okay, now I'm going in with the same blending brush that I used earlier just to blend everything out. Bring it down and out. I'm gonna round out the nose. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to like cut creases and stuff, so I just like to make sure that everything is as crisp and as sharp as possible. So now we're left with a kind of clean base. It's kind of like a little bit messy down here, but left with a nice kind of eye base. Taking the same brushes that I used and going in with the same colors, I'm now gonna work on the lower part and just kind of like dabbing it in. Almost kind of like doing like a wing. Well, that's what we're kind of making like on this eye, going in with the wing. Same colors and same brushes. I mean, if you want, you could probably use thinner brushes, but for me it was just easier just to kind of use like the same brushes so I can blend them out easier. Going in with the burgundy. Next, going in with the red right over the burgundy. I have to like pull it out just a little bit. then the orange. And then last but not least, the yellow. And then go backwards. And everything kind of looks wonky at first, but we're gonna go in and wing it out with the Q-tip again. Bring it out like the top part. And I'm going to use my concealer brush to clean it up. And then drag it down. I'm just going to stop the line as much as... Let me kind of fix it because I do want to extend it out a tiny bit. And that's... This one extends out more than this one. This one I kind of cut sooner, but it's okay. And then I'm just blending everything out. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow because this eye has a lot more vibrant yellow. So I'm just going to spray it a bit just to get the yellow on the lid and not lose my brush. This is why the clothes that I wear is what I wear. And I'm just dabbing a little bit more vibrant of the yellow in this eye. To get the desired brightness of yellow. I want to get as symmetrical as possible. And then I'm just going to kind of use my finger to blend everything up. But I'm next going to use my Duo glue in the shade Dark. I was going to use a liquid liner, but this kind of acts as a liquid liner. And I'm making the thinnest line possible. Just so we don't take away from the wing, like the colored wing that we made. And there I go messing up. Okay, so when we do mess up, we're going to do is use our brushes to clean it up before it dries. And then use our finger. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to use my 𝕧𝕚𝕕𝕤𝕤𝕤 lashes. These are in the style If Only. And I feel like these are like the perfect like wispy full, because this is like a dramatic look. These are like the perfect kind of wispy full lashes. And I've been wearing these lashes like all the time now. They're like the perfect like dramatic lash for this. And put me onto some lashes too. Like, I'm open to trying new everything, all kind of makeup products. So put me onto lashes, eyeshadow palettes, like high-end drugstore, everything. See, these are kind of like the perfect lashes. They don't take away from the liner or anything. They just kind of add drama. Now I'm going to go in and do the rest of my face, kind of beat the rest of my face, and then I will come back and show you guys, and then we can do the under eye. I'm going to use my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. This is in Milk, I believe, the white color, and I'm just lightly, actually I'm going to use my brush to lightly pull down my eye and get this in my tear duct. You know, they're trying to make the complex look great, I understand that, but they always do it at like the worst times, and they do it, they're here I feel like all day doing landscaping. And then put a little white in there. Next, using a very thin brush, and I'm taking this light blue and I'm gonna add it in my tear duct above the Jumbo Eye Pencil. Like right more on like my lash line than anything. And next I'm taking just another kind of flat brush, and I'm going in with this dark blue, and I'm gonna put it right under my lash line. Right there. Just like a thin line right under. Just gonna kind of like dab it in there so it doesn't smudge like a crazy amount. Next, I'm just taking like a thin flat brush and just some of my primer, and I'm going to, sorry, it's not focusing. This is just my NYX, there we go, NYX glitter primer, and I'm gonna dab a little bit on the brush that I have. And it's like brand new, so it's okay. I'm just gonna dab a little bit on the brush that I have. And I'm using this pressed glitter palette, and I'm using this blue, and I'm gonna dab the brush directly into the pigment. And I'm gonna put the glitter right underneath the eye.